Welcome to another Money Morning Routine. Okay, so first I want to go through, I had nothing come out of my checking account. So I had nothing to update on my checking account expense tracker, but I did spend some food cash yesterday. Yesterday we went to the farmer's market in Kendall Yards. I ran into a friend who has her own tart business, so I wanted to support her and get one of her tarts, which by the way was amazing. But I spent cash out of my food envelope. Now, a lot of people could argue, well, Nico, that could have came out of your fun envelope because you were doing a fun activity, you were visiting the night market at Kendall Yards, but I decided to pull it from my food. I didn't get a receipt, I just remembered. So let's count how much cash I have left in my food envelope. So I have $249. Let's write that down. $249. And that was for yesterday, so $521. I'm just going to put tart minus $7. So put this money back into my food envelope, and let's go ahead and update my cash expense tracker with that transaction. So $521, tart, food, $7. So now my cash has been fully updated. My envelope has been fully updated. So for spending money the rest of the month, I have $249 left in my food envelope. For fun, I'm at $107. For pets, I still have the full $50. Beauty, I still have the full $100 for beauty. Miscellaneous, $50 for that. And household, I'm at $0. So that has all been updated. Now let's go back here to, I promised yesterday that we would walk through the debt payment plan worksheet inside the Budget by Paycheck Workbook. Now, this is such an important page if you have debt. I don't have debt, which is why you never see me fill this out. However, this is the page that helped me pay off over $77,000 worth of debt, stay motivated, and have awareness about my progress as well. And so this is what it looks like now. This is an old version of the debt payment plan worksheet. You can see they're very similar. And you have your total debts, you have your extra payment box, and then you have your monthly progress and overall progress. It's just formatted a little bit differently, but it has the same information. So let's go over this and why this is so important. When you are paying off debt or want to start really, truly being intentional about paying off your debt, that's really something you want to get done. The first thing you have to do is write down all of your debt. Now, I'm not talking about the minimum payments. It's time to get over the minimum payments. It's time to look at your debt as a whole, even if it's scary, even if you don't want to. It's time to look at your whole debt picture. So that's what this is at the top. Now, this is my real numbers, okay? This is my real situation. This was taken back in 2018, August of 2018. I had at this time a little over $70,000. I had an STCU credit card with $4,000. It looks like at this time I paid off my Capital One credit card that had a 21% interest rate. You can see I'm tackling the interest rates with the highest interest rate first. My car loan was $16,000. This is the one that was really hard for me. This is actually the one that really mentally I struggled with. I had a Discover credit card with $15,000 on it at 15% interest. My minimum payment was $323, but that barely even touched the interest payment. It barely even touched principal. It's very, very hard on that one. I had all these different student loans. And so here's the thing. This is why this is so important. So you need to write down your creditor, your overall balance, your interest rate, your minimum payment. And this is where it becomes very important. The order. You need to choose, and I don't care which one, there's no right or wrong here. It's what's going to keep you motivated and consistent with your debt payoff journey. Now, you can pay off your debt with the highest interest rate first. That's going to save you the most money over the long run in interest. Okay, also using, that's called the avalanche method, paying off the debt with the highest interest rate first. You also pay off your debt just a little bit faster using that method. The other one is the snowball method. That's paying off your debt with the smallest balance first. Now that's great for people who are motivated by seeing quick wins early on in their journey, right? Because you're paying off the debts with the smallest interest rate first. So we are assuming that you're going to see quicker progress than if you paid off the debt with the highest interest rate first. Okay. So then you're going to go through and you're going to write down the order in which you're going to pay all these off. So for me, the number one priority debt for me, because I was using the avalanche method, paying off my debt with the highest interest rate first, was this Capital One credit card with 21% interest. Okay. So that was one. And then I would go to the next, looks like the next one I really wanted to tackle. I changed it. I changed it because I paid that off. It looked like right before this one. And so now my new number one is the next interest rate, which was my Discover credit card. And then I'm going to 6.9, which is my STCU credit card. And then I'm going to this student loan and this one. So I'm working down. Okay. So once you know the order in which you want to pay them off, you have to make the minimum payments on all your debt. Now, in my case, I was making over $1,000 payment just to cover my minimums. That's just the bare minimums. $1,000 a month was just going to bare minimums. Now, keep in mind, back in 2018, I was making maybe $30,000 a year. This was probably eating up probably half, a little bit less of my income. The extra debt payment box. Now, because you know now which one is your priority debt, so this one here with number one, my Discover credit card with 15%, this is priority one. Any extra debt payments that you can make past the minimum payments, that's going to be written in your extra debt payment box. Now, for me, if you look at here, well, I made a hefty extra, over $3,000 extra payment past my minimum. I was able to just bust out my Capital One credit card. You can see that's why it's zero here. That one was paid off on 8/20. Then I had another $100 and that went towards, guess what? That priority number one. Now, usually you wouldn't have two debts down here. Why? Because you only have one priority debt, one, not two, not three, not just one. So if you make any debts past your minimum payment, focus only on your number one priority debt until it's paid off. And then go to your second priority, which is what I did here. The minimum debt, or this total debt payments box, is your minimum payments that you made, so the $1,087 plus any of your extra debt payments here. Okay, that's the total. When you get down here, so every single month you make a monthly progress, right? You're making progress from month to month on your debt payoff journey, but you're also making progress as far as what you started with and where you are now, which is your overall debt progress. Now, you can see on this sheet, there's formulas. Okay, so last month total debt balance, so you need to know that. This month total debt balance, which is right here. And then for your total debt monthly progress, you need to take last month debt balance minus this balance, and that gives you how much you paid off this month. Now, people ask me, Miko, does this include interest in it? No, because here's the thing. You are going to fill this out after all payments have been made for that tracking period or month. So at the end of every month, once you've already made your minimum payments, they've posted to their accounts, that's when you're going to fill this out. So for me, I made almost a 5% progress from July to August. For my overall progress, I started with 77,000. I have now 70,000 about. So I paid off at this time in August of 2018, I paid about $6,000 worth of debt off, $6,700, which is about 8%. So that's what this is. Why is this important? Because it shows you not only the progress you're making month to month, short-term progress, but it's showing you overall what your progress is. since you are filling this out every single month at the end of your tracking period or when all of your payments have been made and posted, it gives you awareness around what's going on with your debt every month. You're checking in with your debt story every single month. If you have not utilized the debt payment plan worksheet, a lot of people are going to look at this. They might say, man, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of writing down. That's like, you look at this and you're like, oh my gosh, but it's worth it. Going into debt sometimes is really easy, right? It's easy to swipe a card. Getting out of debt is where we have to put in the work. You have to want it bad enough to do the work. And nowadays, sure, it's easy. You have debt apps and programs and Excel templates and all these things that do the work for you. But I'm telling you now, if you work through the process yourself, you put in that extra work to truly understand what's going on with your debt, you're going to be that much more motivated. I feel like sometimes when we're just punching numbers into an app or a program for our finances, we really become disconnected. What kept me motivated to pay off over $77,000 worth of debt, and not only that, to this day, to be able to continue with my financial goals, is being a pen to paper girly, not relying on an app to do the work for me. It matters enough to me that I am willing to put in the work to get there. Anyway, so if you have not started and you have debt and you're looking at this page in your workbook and you're like, there you go, start. And that is my Monday morning routine.